The candidate leading the polls in the race to be the next governor of California had a testy exchange with a reporter before trying to abruptly end the interview. It came after Katie Porter, a former Democratic congresswoman, was asked about what she would do to win over Trump supporters in her state. Take a listen.
I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters, okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Every other candidate has answered.
I don't care.
Follow-ups.
Joining me to discuss, Julia Manchester, national political reporter here at The Hill. Hey, Julia, so what did you make of this exchange?
This was really bizarre, and I think any candidate who's gone through media training would be told not to do what Katie Porter did. And that's shocking because Katie Porter has run for office. She's held elected office. And she did this interview and has become the center of the conversation surrounding the governor's race for all of the wrong reasons. Katie Porter was seen as the front runner in the Democratic primary and in the governor's race as a whole. Remember, there are a number of Democrats running in this primary, and we are now seeing them really trying to capitalize on this bad moment, objectively bad moment Katie Porter had in this interview. You have former HHS Secretary Javier Becerra, who's running for governor. He's tweeting his own answer to that same question with that same reporter that he gave. You have some of the other candidates also taking to X to voice, to criticize Katie Porter, some even saying that this is a pattern for the former congresswoman. So definitely not a good look. And I think it's a really unnecessary, unforced error at a time when she's the front runner.
And Porter is not a stranger to the spotlight herself. She kind of made a name for herself with these charts that she would hold up during these committee hearings, and she's done a lot of national media. She probably has the best statewide name recognition of any of the candidates in California. There have, though, been reports in the past about how she treats her staff. The word bad boss, toxic workplace have been thrown around. Defenders have called those comments and commentary sexist. But do you think kind of this perception could end up hurting her in the race?
Well, on the point about name ID, now she certainly has even higher name ID. And if you're an out-of-state donor looking to get involved in this race and you're seeing this this interview clip, maybe some you're asking some questions about who to support and whether that's Katie Porter. In terms of the perceptions of her, yes, I've heard those same rumblings and stories and reportings about how she's treated her staff. I think, though, a lot of people in the political sphere, men and women who have condemned Katie Porter's behavior in this video, have essentially pointed to this video and say, look, this is a part of a broader pattern. So I absolutely think this could negatively impact her, and it just gives her higher name ID for all the wrong reasons.
Tell me more about the other candidates and what they're saying specifically about this. How much are they kind of lean into this as a line of attack?
Yeah, so I thought it was interesting how the former HHS secretary retweeted another reporter tweeting about the interview Porter had, and then Javier Becerra posted his own video, which was filmed right in front of the same backdrop Katie Porter's was, with the same reporter asking the same questions. And it's just kind of makes for a really good compare and contrast if you're contrasting the two interviews. The former mayor of Los Angeles, Antonio Villagrosa, he's also tweeting about this, condemning those remarks. There's a former state controller who's running for California governor. She's calling Katie Porter out directly. And a number of other candidates calling this a pattern. So it's really just given them an opportunity to really take a swipe at the front runner. And on top of that, Drew, this comes at a time when Democrats are trying to expand their coalition and rebuild their coalition, maybe reach out to Trump voters who weren't necessarily, who might have voted Democratic in the past, but switched to supporting Trump and Republicans more recently. And we think of California as a deep blue state, and it certainly is. But there are some pretty red pockets, and there are some pretty competitive congressional districts, for example, in the state, particularly in the Southern California area. So if you're a Republican voter in California watching this, maybe you weren't going to support Katie Porter in the first place. Maybe you were on the fence. Maybe you could have seen yourself supporting her. This certainly does nothing to sway you in her direction.
I wonder if this will have any impact on a possible endorsement from the sitting governor of California, Gavin Newsom, one of the most prominent figures in the Democratic Party right now, widely speculated to be considering a run for the presidency in 2028. I imagine his endorsement would be very powerful in this race.
Yeah, that's a good point. And given that Gavin Newsom, even though he's seen ups and downs in terms of his approval rating in California and nationally, right now he's having a really good moment. He's seen as the perfect person to hit back against President Trump and against Republicans in Washington. But one thing Gavin Newsom has said, and he said it on his podcast that he's launched, is we need to talk to conservative voters. We need to have conversations with conservatives. He even had Charlie Kirk, the late conservative activist who was recently assassinated, on his podcast, and the two had a discussion. So Katie Porter's remarks in that interview, I don't think would really jibe with what Gavin Newsom is saying Democrats need to do right now.
Have we heard from Porter at all? Has she responded to or apologized?
I have not heard anything from Porter at this point, so we'll be keeping an eye out for it. But I imagine there's a level of crisis mode right now.
Yeah. All right. We'll continue to follow the story. Julia Manchester, national political reporter at The Hill. Thanks again.
Thank you.